Today, we're going to be reviewing the construction plans and working in the product list because it's time to start entering the products from our library. So if you're ready, let's start our next lesson in Estimating with Microvellum Toolbox. Here we are back in our new bid current project. And in this video, we're going to pick up where we left off and go into the product list and start entering products for this project. Now at this point, we've already spent the time to review the construction plans. The plans that we're looking at here are just in a PDF format. In this project, we are going to be working in a couple different areas. So after having a conversation with the contractor, we've decided to break this out into two phases. The first one will be the break room in this area here. And then the second phase of this project will be the copy areas. So we have copy area 1, 2, and copy area 3 down here. This set of plans is pretty nice because they've given us some overall lengths of rooms, and we also have some elevation drawings of our cabinets that they're looking for. So we could just go off of the drawings and start entering the cabinet sizes based off of this. And the other option would be to import the PDF inside of Toolbox and start dimensioning from there. Now, because Susan, our estimator, isn't too familiar with everything inside of the drawings of Toolbox, we want her to focus just inside of the product list. First thing we need to do is add new rooms. So we're going to right click on the project and add a new room. This one we're just going to call our break room. And even though the job is going to be in two phases, we're going to give them a quote for the entire project. So the next 3 rooms we're going to add will be the copy areas. So we'll go ahead and create all the different rooms right now. If there happens to be any products that are going to be duplicate throughout the project, for example, maybe copy area 1 has the same cabinets as copy area 2, then we'll just copy those products after we have them entered in the list. So now we have our rooms added to the project, but we're not quite ready to start adding in the products because we want to make sure that we have our project set up with the correct specifications. We have access to our project wizard, global variables, our material, cut parts, edge banding, hardware, and doors. You'll notice here that we do have 2 different specification groups. The unit list decorative laminate spec group comes in from the template with the formula cut parts and edge banding components. We're not going to get into formula materials now. We'll save that for later on. We're going to try to keep it as simple as possible for our estimator since we don't want them to spend too much time on these quotes. So the first thing would be going into the project wizard. And hopefully by default, this is all set up the way that you would typically build your cabinets. So we're not needing to change anything as far as the construction method. Under the project setup, we're going to enter our cabinet size defaults. This is where we're going to want to spend the time at the beginning to make sure that these products are coming into the project with the correct settings. Into the material, if the material that's going to be used has a grain direction, then we would assign what direction that grain is going. Title block information, this shows up on our sheets. This information won't appear on the reports. It can if we customized it, but by default, it's only showing up on our sheets. Same with the render finish options. Now we have our project wizard set up. The next area is going to be the material file. So obviously for the quote, we want to make sure that we're using the right material. Now, because this can be intimidating for some people with the amount of pointer names and the material that's being used, what I like to do right off the bat is right click in here, go to groups and show groups. And we're just going to make sure that we have all our material assigned correctly. So white melamine for the base carcass parts. You'll notice that we also have tall carcass parts and upper carcass parts broken out. So if they were needing to be different material, we would assign that accordingly. Now, what if there was a material that we needed to use for this project that wasn't inside of our material library? That would require us adding it to our project level. There is another video in this training plan that goes over creating a new material for the project and also making sure that that pricing is correct. So right now, all the material coming in from the library has pricing that's been set up in the template. Okay, so material's been assigned to all the pointer groups. We're good there. And our project wizard has been set up with the cabinet size defaults. Let's double check to see what type of hardware we're using. And to get to the hardware, we want to go to our hardware wizard. Cut parts and edge banding wizard are only used for the formula materials. Now, just a matter of assigning the correct hinges that we want to use, mounting plates, handles. On this project, they did call out a Doug Mockett pull. We could find that in our library. If it's not there, you can always add new pieces of hardware in your library too. Or for quote, find something similar with the correct pricing. So for right now, we'll just use this handle rod, 128 millimeter. Into the drawers, we're going to change it to a wooden drawer box and any additional hardware that we needed for the project. So at this point, we're done. We'll close out of here and go back into the product list. Now selecting on the room that we want to add our products to, using the plans that we had from our contractor, and starting off with the door drawer cabinet. We'll find that under our frameless cabinetry category under base door drawer cabinets. I'm going to do a base 2-door, 2-drawer. We'll make this one 30 inches wide. We changed the height in the project wizard. So these cabinets will finish off at ADA height. And this run of cabinets is going to be open to open, finished ends on each side. So we're going to make sure we turn on our left finished end. Most of this stuff is coming in from the project wizard or the global variables. So we typically wouldn't need to change too many things inside of here. There's our wood drawer box. For the estimator, really this is just for pricing purposes. So once the job gets awarded to us and we need to send this in production, the drafter or the engineer would make sure that the rest of the settings are updated correctly. But if it is going to affect pricing, then we do want to make sure that we have some of these prompts turned off. Now on to the next copy areas. We're going to start adding those cabinets in the same way that we did to the brake area. We'll finish that one up. And then we're one step closer to creating a quote for this customer. Now, I just want to show you what we can do when we have the same cabinets that are going to be repeat from copy area 2 into copy area 3. I want to separate them because I want them to show on the report. We'll just take everything in copy area 2, right click, copy that selection to another room. And we have all the products that we need inside of copy area 3. And you can see all the products for the entire project. And now we're ready to generate a quote that we can send off to our customer. Along with that quote, we can also take a look at some of the other costing reports to give us an idea of how much time and money it's going to cost us as a company as this project goes through the shop and eventually gets installed. Now that we have these products in our list, we need to take the next step and work on that quote. Then start adding the products to the drawing inside of the project. So until next time, take care, be good, and I'll meet you back here for another Toolbox training lesson.